Welcome to episode 44 of the Last Row podcast. My name is Drew. Across the room is my very good friend and co-host, Mr. Badway.
44.
Get up there, man.
Oh, man.
If you're looking for us on the web, thelastrowpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod. Facebook.com. We saw some Facebook action.
We got some likes.
Some hot Facebook action this week.
Thank you.
Facebook.com/thelastrowpod. We're also on Google+. And most importantly, iTunes. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Please leave us a 5-star review. We got a new one this week. We're going to give a shout out to the reviewer later in the show. What is going on, Badway? How you doing?
I'm not too proud to beg for our Facebook likes, and clearly it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
We got a couple. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate all the likes.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We got some Facebook action. We got a new like on the page. We got a couple likes on the post. I want to see that increase.
Yeah. And so we're talking about iTunes reviews, right? So we have the 50?
We're at 40. So there's two. There's one from Lee in the UK iTunes store.
Yeah.
So we have 39, but we really have 40.
So it's really 40. So at 50, we promised to do a John Van Damme split, right?
On video.
So hopefully if we could get that number up by the time of our 50th episode, so if we get 50 for 50, we could do the split for episode 50.
We need to do something big for episode 50. That's all I'll say.
I'm hoping that the split will be part of it, but I'm not just going to do it for free, right?
You want them to earn it.
I'm not just going to do it.
You want them to earn it.
They're going to have to earn it with the 55-star reviews on iTunes,
so
right?
Here's the question. If we attempt to split, I mean, we already know what's going to happen, right? It's obvious we're both going to get injured.
Loose fitting pants, no underwear.
But if we do this split, like, are we going to have to go to the hospital, one of us?
No, I'm very confident in my groin, my hamstring.
See, I was not very good at the V-sit and reach back in the presidential fitness days.
I was great at it.
I was awful.
Now, this is like 20 plus years later. So
and I feel like my hamstrings and all of my muscles down there have gotten infinitely just old man.
I'll tell you what. So we'll dial 9-1, and then we'll wait, and then we'll have the finger on one
You'll
ready.
Do the split.
Yeah. So we can quick dial it.
We'll have it. We got to get a life alert before we do that.
Right.
So what are we talking about today?
So kind of a slow news week.
It's actually been the hottest week of the year here.
A snow lose week. So we're going to talk about Fast 8 and about how Rock's going to beat people up. We're going to talk about Disney movies, and we're also going to talk about what we were watching, what we've been watching, and what we're looking forward to watching in the future. So to jump us off, now I know we talked about Fast 8 here and there a little bit, but we're not going to talk about the movie so much. We're going to talk about The Rock beating people up at Fast 8 on Fast 8's set, right?
The only thing we need to say about the movie is I'm going to be there. Yeah. That's it.
So
I'll be there.
You want these juices flowing between takes, right? Listen, to get the right like take.
There's
for
no
The Rock, right?
negativity that comes from negativity on set. I know that makes no sense at all, but it makes perfect sense. The Rock said it. He's like, you can even tell in my takes. So, kind of like where Paul Walker, unfortunately, RIP, passed away. People were watching the movie, looking for the scenes where he was CG.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this movie intently saying, oh, that must have been the scene that he was pissed off in.
He's eyeing up Vin Diesel.
That must have been the scene where he was pissed off.
So
was it Vin Diesel? Do we know for sure?
It came out that it was Vin Diesel, and I think they squashed it since then. But just for reference, do you want to read the quote? You want to tell the people exactly what The Rock said? He Instagrammed because he does a social media thing, which is kind of a candy ass thing in and of itself.
He's a big grammer, man. He's a big Instagrammer.
Yeah,
I don't. Is he on Snapchat? I don't know if he's on there.
I'm not one to call out Dwayne The Rock Johnson because first of all, I love everything he does from his wrestling to his movies, and secondly, I don't want to get beat up by him. So
he's gonna find you.
Yeah, but I'm going to critique him just a tiny bit here to say that when you call someone a candy ass, like you throw shade, and it's not fully clear who you're throwing shade to.
Yeah,
that's kind of candy ass-ish.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And to call the guy out on social media and it be Instagram.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
don't grab it, man.
I guess because it's a photo sharing thing.
Yeah.
Like you're sharing a picture of you being mad.
He creates the cardinal sin of having an Instagram photo and having 17 paragraphs directly underneath the Instagram photo.
It's like the people that do like 100 hashtags.
Yeah.
Like 100 hashtags.
It's like, come on, man. Don't make an Instagram
blessed.
post like that. It's Facebook, all right?
Hashtag conflict.
It's not Twitter.
That's
for 40 characters.
So you don't support it. I'll give you the quote.
Yeah, give us the quote, please.
He made this post about how hard he's working, looking all hot and sweaty, just shirtless. I don't know.
You're a married man, Drew.
I assume that he's...
You're a married man.
I assume that's how he looks, but... He says, my male co-stars, however, he said all this positive things about the movie and how hard everybody's working, the female co-stars. Then he says, my male co-stars, however, are a different story. Some conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals, while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken S dash 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 dash. I'm just going to assume he said shit right there. Chicken shit.
Soup.
Two chicken soup to do anything about it. Candy asses. He really missed an opportunity for a hashtag there.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe he submitted it
Hashtag
later,
candy asses?
Yeah, he really should have put it. Does that make it tougher or less tough?
Less tough.
But so you think it was a weak move on his part to put this out there?
Yeah, it probably was. Unless you specifically call out Vin Diesel for it. Then it's tough.
So he should have said, some conduct themselves as stand-up men, and Vin Diesel is too chicken shit to do anything about it.
That's
He's a
tough.
candy ass.
I don't care what social media realm you put it in. You could Periscope that shit.
See,
it's fine.
Why didn't he Periscope it? He really missed a chance. He could have been, vining it. The people could loop it forever.
He could have snapped it on his story, and then it would have been gone in the day or whatever. But people would have been talking about it. But whatever.
But yeah, I mean, so we know it's Vin Diesel. You said it came out.
It came out that it was Vin Diesel, and I think they since buried the hatch. But we know it's Vin Diesel. But he also said some of my co-stars.
Yes.
Plural.
That is, to me, what. So JJ sent us this article, I think, right? Listener and friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
He posted it either on the Facebook page or tweeted at us. I can't remember. Thanks for sending it, JJ, because he sent it instantly when it happened.
Yes.
And I just remembered, I thought that Vin Diesel was supposed to be a nice guy. I thought that was the thing. He's supposed to be a nice guy.
Well, so was The Rock, but just people clash. So they didn't say exactly what he did, but one can assume he was maybe getting a little too. Maybe he was critiquing The Rock on his acting moves a little bit. I can see that happening.
Do you think he didn't re-rack the weights in the gym?
That's possible. Maybe he didn't wipe down.
Because I feel like if you don't wipe down the bench, you're a candy ass.
So maybe he took all the razors to shave his head.
You steal all the razors.
The head shave.
You don't rack the weights, or you leave everything on the bar. Come on now.
Whoa. So
re-rack that.
So what if he got too big? What if Vin Diesel got really buffed out for this movie, right? And Rock came in, he was like, shit, man, I got to do something. I got to be alpha male. Do you
think The Rock's on steroids? Real talk. Real talk.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like there's been a lot of rumors that
innocent until proven guilty.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anybody's doing steroids because people do hard work, man. And I don't want to knock The Rock for doing hard work until it's proven.
Listen, you can do hard work and still do steroids.
I know.
You can do harder work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not a performance enhancer for a movie, I guess.
So do you think maybe Vin Diesel was doing steroids and The Rock was mad because he doesn't support that?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
What if Vin Diesel got ripped super huge and The Rock was mad at him because he was almost getting on Rock's level, but artificially?
See, I always looked at Vin Diesel as kind of glamour jacked. Even though he's not
that big.
He was big.
He was
when
big.
you look at Paul Walker next to him, Paul Walker's like a pipsqueak compared to him. And all the other male co-stars, you got Ludacris. Ludacris is like a string bean compared to him.
Yeah.
And then you got The Rock, and The Rock is just freakishly huge.
Well, that's the problem because so there was Fast 1 and then there was Triple X.
Right.
So Vin Diesel was at his biggest at those points.
Right.
But he was next to people that aren't as big. So you're right. You put him next to Paul Walker, he's huge. But then in Fast 5, you got The Rock in there, and it makes him look tiny. So it's kind of he's probably a little mad back then.
So let's go through the other cast members because there's a variety of male co-stars in this movie that it could have been about. We found out, like you said, it probably came out that it was Vin Diesel. No one said what it was. They never said exactly what happened, I guess you're saying?
No, they never really brought it all out.
The other rumor was that it was Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
Who's going to have a beef with Scott Eastwood?
It's a baseless rumor just because he is Scott Eastwood and he has a punchable face. So I guess that's why that rumor came
But it's
out.
Scott Eastwood, first off, I have no idea what role he's going to play, but he's Hollywood is trying to really push Scott Eastwood on us.
Yeah.
And it's not even Clint, it's not a Will Smith, Jaden Smith thing.
Yeah.
This is Clint Eastwood's behind the scenes. He doesn't do anything. He just directs movies now and looks old. But it's Scott Eastwood. He was in Suicide Squad, which we reviewed last week. Check our episode out. What's he doing in these movies? I don't. Do you know what his role is in this?
I don't know, but he's trying to find his way. I mean, I guess they need to infuse some young talent. I hate to say he's the Paul Walker replacement.
He definitely is.
Pretty face with the pretty boy haircut, but I guess that's what you have to do.
Do you think Vin Diesel picked him out? It's he misses his friend,
yeah.
So he's got to it's like Johnny Drama when he's trying to do the auditions where he's got to make out with somebody. He's got to try making out with everybody in the audition.
Yeah.
It's I feel like Vin Diesel had very high standards for who replaced Paul Walker.
Right. So, for example, if we lost you, you had suddenly fallen off a cliff, right? I would have a new podcast host, but he'd have to have the equipment and he would have to DC. And there's all these things that would have to to check off.
He has to Entourage.
Yeah.
It's just a given.
Entourage. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Gotta like Van
there's
Damme.
a list that we can't just have anybody.
That's what I mean. You got to go through the auditions.
Yeah.
But so if Scott Eastwood was a fight, the rumor was that he was mad, or The Rock was mad that Scott Eastwood was mad at people going to their trailers when he was trying to learn about the movie making procedure.
Yeah.
What the hell is that about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like a Hollywood dirt sheet type rumor.
That's like the definition of baseless rumor.
So let's real quick before we end on this. We're going to go through each male cast member that The Rock has, and we're going to ask two questions. Was The Rock mad at him? And B, The Rock.
He's got.
I could do English pretty good, right? So was The Rock mad at him? Number one, and number two, can The Rock beat him up in real life?
So we're gonna do a hypothetical fight.
Yes.
Okay, I like this.
And so we have some thoughts about The Rock. Now, this is just thoughts. The Rock's a wrestler. He's a bodybuilder. He's jacked. He's huge. But we don't know for sure if he can fight or not. Obviously, kick my ass, kick your ass. Kick about 90% of the general public's ass.
Kick anybody's ass in this room.
Anybody's ass in this room. He kicked Mike Dexter's ass. But can he kick these people's asses? Start with Vin Diesel. So we know the first question is yes. He was feuding with him on set.
I thought you were going to say yes, he can kick his ass.
No. Question is, can he beat him up? Yes or no?
I think he would probably crush him because, like I said before, I think Vin Diesel is glamour muscles.
But one could say the same for The Rock too, though. We don't know. The Rock.
The Rock proved it in the ring, even though it was choreographed.
But they're worked punches. They're flailing punches.
And I guess when you're getting suplexed, the guys when you're suplexing somebody. See, I can't talk anymore.
Yeah,
you're letting them suplex you.
Yeah,
you're letting it happen. You're submitting. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's for The Rock. He was he could beat up Vin Diesel, but I would say he could just lift him up and throw him around because he's stronger.
He's not going to suplex him or roll him up in a small package or rock bottom him or something in this fight, but I think The Rock could probably deck Vin Diesel pretty easily.
I think it would be.
Yeah. I'm not going to say easily.
I'm going to say sucker punch?
I'm going to say, so if it's a 3-round MMA fight, I'm going to go round 2.
So you're saying, Vin Diesel will last the first round.
So Fast 5, the fight scene, it was 5 minutes long, their first fight scene. I'm going to say it's going to be 2 minutes.
Okay, so he's gonna give him some, but he's ultimately gonna lose.
And actually,
is it a knockout?
Vin Diesel won that fight in the movie, though, which is the most unrealistic part of that movie.
Yeah, they had to give it to him.
Yeah,
they had to give it to him.
He was the incumbent
because this is what I think. Yeah. It's Vin Diesel saying, "All right, man, I'll let you in my movie, and I'll let you prop me up.
Yeah,
but you got to let me have one."
Yeah, he had to put him over. You had to put him over.
And it was definitely a BS scene.
And pure wrestling fashion.
I'm going The Rock in sweeping fashion. I'm going to say. Knocks him out instantly.
All right, so we already talked about Scott Eastwood. We probably think that he wasn't feuding with The Rock. He's not a candy ass.
I feel like Scott Eastwood would be too scared to talk to The Rock.
Yeah.
And The Rock seems like a nice guy, really. I mean, ultimately he is.
But they were forced to fight each other in a death match. The Rock all day, right?
The Rock would step on him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know his dad is Dirty Harry, but come on now.
So Eastwood's out. Ludacris.
Unless Ludacris busts out some technology he's got in the movie. He's got some type of harpoon hook remember the one where they were stealing the bank vaults?
Yeah.
Unless he's got some type of harpoon or a net, what is it, Cyrax in Mortal Kombat? He's got the green net.
Yeah, he has a robot exoskeleton that he can form. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Ludacris is going down.
Ludacris instantly. Is the Donatello of the group. He does machines.
He does have machines.
He does machines.
Ludacris is a tough guy in his own right, but
yeah.
He's
not Rock tough.
It ain't gonna happen.
But what does he seem like the kind of guy that would fight with The Rock, or he's too chill? He's too laid back, right?
Yeah, I think Ludacris would bow out before he got too heated. You know what I mean? I feel he would submit.
He did create the song "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way." Move, bitch. Parentheses, get out the way.
I mean, but he wasn't talking about The Rock. The Rock was not parentheses bitch. You know what I mean? That wasn't who he was talking about.
He's not talking to him.
The Rock is not the bitch he was referring to.
I think he was talking to the other rappers in the game at the time. Bitch, get out the way. I'm taking over.
But he's got the verbal skills. But we're talking hand to hand. Are we talking a street fight? Are we talking
it's just straight they're on set and they get in an argument and we're gonna have to fight.
Okay, yeah, The Rock's taking him all day, man. No way, no chance.
All right, Tyrese
is weaker, I feel, than Ludacris.
Do you think
he's a VJ?
But do you think his cocky attitude in the movie translates to real life?
No, I feel like he's probably a nice guy.
You think he's a nice guy? He's a smiley guy.
Listen, if you're gonna do MTV The Grind at Seaside Heights, you got to be able to make friends. You know what I mean? It's just a show about people dancing for 60 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Come on now.
There's no hate there. That's what
I'm saying. He's gonna be friends. I'm saying The Rock would kick his ass, but I don't think that it would even be a possibility because I think Tyrese is too nice.
I agree. So let's get the heavy hitters. We got 2 left. We're going with Statham.
You know what?
Newcomer to the series. He showed up last time. Did a hell of a job. What do you think?
Let me say this.
Would he feud with him first off?
I could see yes, because I feel like he has his own ego because he's a leading action star, and he was before The Rock was.
He's an expendable.
I feel this is a little controversial, but I think Statham would beat him.
We got our first loss
because
for The Rock.
Statham is nimble, man. He's nimble.
Yeah.
He's going to do like the twinkle toes stuff, and he's going to like jump all over the place.
I don't mean to pull age on here, but how old really is Jason Statham? He could be 60, I feel, and I wouldn't know any better.
No, because when you're bald, you look automatically like 15 years older.
Yeah.
Like it take away your hair, shave my head right now into like a cue ball or whatever the horseshoe hair is, and I'm already going to look 10 years older than I am.
I caught scenes from The Italian Job this past weekend, and he had like the thing where he had some light hair on top, but it was a clear like
it was
receding
thinning?
hairline
Oh,
big
yeah.
time. Oh yeah.
It was thinning.
And that was like 01.
He actually rocked the horseshoe for a lot longer than I thought he would.
He looked 40 then, and that was 01.
I don't think. Let me look him up. I'm gonna look him up.
All right, as we're talking,
tell the people what
you look it up. So my feelings on Statham is, you're right. I think he can beat The Rock up. I agree with you, but it depends on the age. Because if he's over 52, I'm gonna say no. But if he's 52 and under, I'm going to say yes. Did I nail it?
Jason Statham, born July 26, 1967, age 49.
49. He's got him.
He's got it,
The
man.
Rock. He's got him.
Age 49.
Yeah. Now, this is going to be a hell of a fight, and they're both going to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a stretcher match.
Yeah, it's a stretcher match.
This is straight up stretcher match.
Oh, yeah.
Not a coffin match.
But I'm going Statham.
Loser leaves town match.
Yeah.
Like, what if that's what it was? Like, the stipulation of, like, the loser of the fight had to leave the movie.
Yeah.
And they killed the character off.
Oh, man. There's a lot on the line there. There's millions of dollars to be had.
The studio would definitely be be pulling some strings on that fight.
So you're right. I think Statham, while like he's the most unassuming guy. Like Statham walks down the street in a suit, right? He looks like a small type of guy. He looks like a lot of the body types of MMA fighters.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like he's like the Conor McGregor style guy. Like he looks
like a wiry.
He looks
badass.
like the football hooligans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he will beat the crap out of you.
Like he's a ball of like solid like rock, but he's not puffed out.
Well, I'm thinking back to like Snatch. I'm thinking back to, even the Mechanic, the original Mechanic, not the new one. Like he's a tough guy, but he's like very thin and like cut.
Yeah.
And he's got the moves though. He knows, man. Yeah. I don't know.
Nice job.
You know what this is? This reminds me a lot of the Van Damme Seagal feud, where it was like they said Seagal was glamour muscles.
Yeah.
They said he's like, oh, he's a showman, and Seagal's like, oh, I could kick his ass. Yeah. That whole feud. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure Van Damme could beat him too.
Seagal never worked out. He never wanted to work out, so he had no interest in looking good.
Clearly,
he was fine wearing a puffy jacket. He was totally fine with it.
He kept the tight jeans because the puffy jacket concealed the gut as it grew.
Whereas The Rock would not be caught dead wearing sleeves.
That's very true.
Yeah. Lastly, we got one more on the list, and it's a classic. Talking about over 50, Kurt Russell, who is, I believe, and I'm not sure yet. I believe is the new villain.
No, he's like an agent guy.
Yeah, he's the agent. I'm sorry. Still the villain. Yeah, he was in 7. He was in 7.
He's like the agent guy. He wears like the black tie suit.
That's right.
They didn't really talk too much about it.
I could see him flipping though.
He could be a double agent.
I could see him being bad in this movie. Like,
could be double agent.
You think you could trust him? You can't trust him.
Could be. I put it this way. First, I don't think The Rock's going to fight with him because I feel like whatever Kurt Russell says, he's going to respect him.
He's going to,
he paved the way.
The Rock is all about respect. If we learn nothing from his Instagram,
that's what I mean. Hashtag respect.
Yeah,
we've got Kurt Russell, veteran of the industry, veteran of action movies, classic Snake Plissken from the
himself.
Escape movies. I mean, everything else that he's been in earned the respect of The Rock. The Rock's not going to fight him. Don't think it's going to happen.
So, are you not even going to give me a hypothetical?
I still think. Well, how old is Kurt Russell? He's probably over 65, right?
He's got to be at least over 55.
I have to look that one up. But if he's over 55, which I'm pretty sure he is, he's not going to be able to fight him.
I just can't see Kurt Russell get beat up because he's so cool. Like, he's so cool looking, right?
Like, he'd be able to talk his way out of it.
Yeah.
He's cool, but he's also, and I just looked this up while we were talking, he's a cool 65, 1951.
Man, to look like that at 65.
Let me tell you what, though. His picture on Wikipedia makes him look old as hell. He's
Oh,
got a mustache. And when you have a
geez.
mustache,
Yeah.
just like having horseshoe hair, you instantly age 10 years. The horseshoe hair and the mustache will age you 10 years.
So to run down the final scorecard, we got The Rock whooping Vin Diesel, Scott Eastwood, Ludacris, Tyrese, and Kurt Russell, and losing a tough fight to Statham.
I think Statham, you know what, you guys always used to say this to me when we were younger. It's like, oh, who would win in a fight, Mike Tyson or me?
Yeah.
And then I would say, oh, Mike Tyson would kick your ass.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, how do you know? You've never seen me fight.
Right.
I kind of feel that way. Like, would Statham really would really be a close fight, or would he just kick his ass because he's a martial artist? Like, he's got the martial arts.
Yeah.
So I don't know how close it's going to be, but I'm still saying Statham wins.
I think it's going to be close because The Rock has that much more power. And lastly, so we verified that Vin Diesel was the candy ass that he was talking about and the chicken shit. So who's most likely to be the number 2 on the list if we're going plural, which Rock did? So we didn't really, we said no for every one. So there's got to be a guy that's maybe, and I'm gonna go Tyrese.
See, so you're going Tyrese. I was leaning towards Ludacris.
Yeah. See, I think.
Why do you go Tyrese? Why?
I think Ludacris is so laid back, and he's like the smallest muscle wise of everyone. So I feel like he would never bark up that tree.
But what if he's got the ego because he's been there and done it? Early 2000s like hotness.
He's probably the richest. So he could be like a cocky son
That's
of a
what I
bitch.
mean,
Yeah.
like flaunting his money.
He's the most successful besides The Rock, probably.
That's what I mean, like flaunting the money, showing up
Yeah.
in flashy cars,
or at least young money. I mean, you could argue that Kurt Russell has more money than him, but it's like he's young money, relatively speaking.
Yeah. So you say Tyrese?
I'll go with Tyrese.
Why do you
I
say
think
that?
Tyrese got a little cocky. Maybe got a little. He didn't like some of his lines on set. Tyrese and Paul Walker are boys off the set, so maybe there's a little bit of like I miss my homie type of thing.
Okay, I see it.
You know what I mean? So I'll go with Tyrese.
Yeah, I see it. I think that's a good one. So in other news, they're remaking The Little Mermaid.
All right. It's a good transition.
I know. There was no way to transition that possibly, so we're just gonna dive right into that.
Yeah.
But they're remaking The Little Mermaid. How do you combine these two topics in a show? I don't know. Only we do it here.
With The Rock starring as Sebastian?
The Rock is starring as Sebastian, confirmed. He posted it on his Instagram, hashtag Sebastian, hashtag Little Mermaid.
Hashtag respect, hashtag hard work.
But so they are remaking The Little Mermaid as a live action. So this new thing is where Disney's remaking all of their animated movies as live action films. Rumor is that Chloe Grace Moretz, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the girl from Kick-Ass and a bunch of other movies,
You did fine.
child actress, is going to be Ariel.
Yeah.
So what I would ask you, sir, is, does this movie need to be remade? And I want to talk a little bit more about other Disney movies that could get possibly remade. And we're going to do a little creative exercise today.
So I have a problem with the word remade because it's not really being remade. If you're doing this movie live action, like a movie live action, I know there's been stage shows. It's not a remake, really. It's a reimagining, isn't it?
I mean, theoretically, they're making another movie called The Little Mermaid.
So it's
So they're
making it
remaking
again.
The Little
It's
Mermaid.
a remake. Okay. All
So
right.
wait, is that where, I know I'm jumping off the topic already, but we just got to this.
Yeah.
But is this the ultimate like Hollywood remaking a remake? What if they just redrew The Little Mermaid? They remade it and they made it an animated film
That's so
again.
lame. They don't make cartoons anymore in the theater anyway. They have
Which
to make
is
it like they
unfortunate.
have to make it look like Pixar or whatever. That would be weird.
But that's what I mean. Like if they remade it as an animated film, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we could do it better now.
Yeah, we could draw it better.
Yeah, we have better artists these days. That's like Hollywood being Hollywood doing that.
See, I feel like that's more disrespectful to the artist than it is for Hollywood to remake a movie and bring new actors in.
Oh.
As ridiculous as that sounds,
Right.
I feel like the art
speaks for itself.
The art speaks for itself. Yeah, it's like to redo a drawing because you could draw it better is more of a slap in the face to me.
So the other question that I have for you is, do you remember back in the day, and there's always these rumors that float around when you're in school. You hear these like weird things about celebrities and what they did with a bender for the weekend.
Yeah.
The other thing that was always floating around was these Disney animators were pervs, man.
Oh, yeah.
They hid things like, sexual words in the clouds in Lion
Yep.
King. The priest got a boner.
Yep, sure.
We're going to say that word today. The priest got a boner.
Who's got a boater?
Priest got a boner on the scene there. Are they going to do that in the live action? Like, are they going to hide these Easter eggs because that's what they do?
Are they going to hide a boater in the live action?
Like, in the back?
that what you're asking me?
Like, in the
This 8 Little Mermaid XXX, is that what we're doing?
Like they're gonna hide it in the background, like you can't see it, but you know if you pause it at this second, you can see it. That was what these things were, right?
I think that's people just having too much time on their hands trying to pick it apart.
You know what? I confirmed it though. It happens in The Little Mermaid. It happens.
Well, yeah, it's what you think. It's your gutter mind.
I challenge you to go watch
it's your
it.
Gutter mind, sure.
I'll send you a screenshot. I'll text it to you.
If it was really there, they would have edited it out of all future releases.
Yeah, and then what was the other one in Aladdin? The tiger whispers some very foul saying thing to Princess Jasmine. Yeah. It's I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole. Anyway, whatever.
Tigers are not implicitly sexual beings, all right? So a tiger would never do that.
They're just trying to reproduce. Let me bring. I took us down a gutter, and I apologize. Let's bring it back. So, doing this movie, they remade what is it? Snow White and the Huntsman. They took like a weird angle on some of these things. Yeah. I don't know what the angle is on this one,
but it's a very like doable live action movie to do Snow White or to do Cinderella or whatever the heck.
But when you say doable, how do you envision this being doable?
It's hard to be doable because you're like half in the ocean. You got a fish character. You have a crab character. You got a girl in a what do you call her bottom half?
Like a fishtail?
A fishtail, like a
flipper,
like a little flipper, like a little.
But it's more than just the flipper because it's like her legs are the. So does she have legs inside of the fish? Like, you know what I mean? Is it like a leg suit?
So
or
like
it's
her
literally
little,
a fish?
her little fins on the bottom, are those her feet? No, that's like disrespectful to the fish kingdom.
No, but I'm saying like with the bottom half, is it like legs inside of like a fish body? Or is it literally a fish half? Like
no,
you
it's
are
like a
half
centaur.
Fish.
It's like the top half is human and the bottom half is all fish, baby.
So does it smell like a fish? Like does her legs smell like a fish?
I'm not answering that question, Drew.
I can't believe I went there. I didn't mean it the way you're thinking it, and the way that everybody's listening is thinking it. I didn't mean it that way. I really didn't.
Can you eat mermaid? Is that like the forbidden like, catch of the sea?
That's what I mean. If they cut the fish off, is it like whaling? You know what I mean? Like
if she dies of natural causes, do you just not waste the bottom half? You got to eat it, right?
I'm sorry, like I can't believe.
What do you call the bottom half of the mermaid? And are there mermen?
Is it the mer part?
Is merman a real thing, or is this something Zoolander was in a commercial for? That was it.
Like the way I'm sorry, the way you just lumped that in there was too funny.
I mean, I know we were going to recast this thing, but it's like these questions pop up.
That's what I mean. We got the mermen. I see. That's the thing. Like, and that's the other thing. Like mermaids are inherently feminine just because of like the way that the sailors portrayed them back in ancient times. When you sing, what is it, King Trident with the big ass like spear or whatever, the trident, right?
Yeah, he is freaking huge, man.
It's Aquaman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He is Aquaman, but he's got a fish half too.
So, are mermaids a creation of like seamen who like excuse to bag fish?
See,
was that what that came from? Like I don't know the legend of the mermaid.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's like being in jail. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're on a boat for
it's not
a
technically
year.
Bestiality if you're at sea, because you can't have.
We're going way off the rails here. We're going way off the rails here today.
The little do we know this show became very X-rated.
Yeah,
like we earned our explicit content on this episode today.
We are marked as explicit, so I apologize. Don't listen to the show with your kids.
And it had to come in the Disney segment,
right.
Of all things.
But really,
let's reel it back.
Realistically, how are they going to film this?
The sex scene?
No, I mean you gotta have a love scene. You gotta have a love scene, right? It's you have to. Yeah. But she turns into a human at that point, so it's okay. They can have the love scene.
3 days or 3 weeks.
Yeah, she whatever it is. She becomes
3 days.
A human.
It's 3 days. Ursula gives her like 3 days.
So the logistics of the love scene that's already worked out. They're okay. They don't need to worry about any type of like.
What if it's like a Cinderella thing where it strikes midnight and they're in the middle of it
and she's a fish? Oh my, dude!
What if he gets caught in there and it's like a Siamese twin?
He would freak out. Oh my god, that's giving me nightmares right now thinking about that.
I got an idea for a horror movie. All right, this thing spiraled out. I apologize.
I'm laughing into the mic the whole time. I'm sorry, everybody.
If you're still listening, congratulations. You can take your 5-star review away at any point, and we'll be fine with it. We understand.
But realistically, how are they going to film this? Is this going to be CG? Because when you do a live action movie, What's the point of doing all the CG?
Seriously though, yeah, like the water is a challenge to shoot like a movie with water and have it realistic. Like Aquaman, we're gonna be interested to see how that works out. With like, we were talking about like the speech of Aquaman.
James Wan came out and said something about like, how are you gonna do? I can't even say it without thinking about how funny it's gonna be. Because I'm imagining the scene from Batman Superman when Momoa comes out and he's just blowing bubbles.
He's like, no cameras.
It's so ridiculous. Like, I just can't even be serious today. But he said that he's going to do something with like, what did they say? Like sonar?
Sonar or like,
like
seriously
a whale?
though, if they did like subtitles, like that would be fine. But I feel like in the Disney version of like in a Disney movie like Little Mermaid, that would be kind of strange. So like tackling the underwater parts, especially with like Sebastian, and the song is called Under the Sea. You can't leave out the song Under the Sea. So how are you going to do that realistically with a live action movie?
And you have to film under the sea.
Right,
it has to be in a pool or in the ocean.
See, you could do this on stage, like on a Broadway play, and like get away with it with a set.
See, what I'm imagining is when we're thinking about people like Sebastian and Flounder, like I'm imagining like stock photography and stock videography of just like a lobster in
a
like
real lobster.
Yeah, like like
walking along the ocean bottom.
And then you got like Jack Black like dubbing over him, like while this little like lobster is just like it's a jump cut to like a lobster walking on the ocean.
Like, oh man, you're not gonna have a guy in like a lobster suit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's.
Like I'm thinking back to SNL. Like imagine if like Sebastian is like Horatio Sands
in the lobster suit.
Yeah, like they would have like some ridiculous like one of the biggest guys in the cast. Or Bobby Moynihan. Yeah, like would just be Sebastian and he'd like have this stupid look on his face.
But see, doesn't it defeat the purpose? It's like so they remade the Jungle Book, and that's a Disney movie. And they made that live action, and the only person in it was Mowgli. Was the only like live action person. Everything else was CG.
Right.
So it's like,
what's the point?
I heard it was awesome. Yeah. So I don't want to crap on the movie.
Yeah, it got good reviews.
But what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
You made a movie that was a cartoon into a computer-generated movie with one person.
Yeah, it's not so live action. Is that what they're going to do with this movie? Like, are they going to computer-generate Sebastian and Flounder, which they have to do?
They're going to. I can tell you right now.
And how good is this movie? Like, what's the point? You're right. What is the point?
And like with Snow White and the Huntsman and all these other ones, and I don't know what Cinderella. Did they do that one too? I don't know.
No, but you can easily though.
It's
That's
people.
The thing.
It's
Beauty and the Beast. You could do that. You got a Beauty and a Beast while there's a talking candlestick and all that.
So who would you cast as people? Like, I'm just going to give you a couple names. We don't have to go through all of them, but like Ursula, who, first off, she's one of the ugliest looking cartoons I've ever seen.
So that's like Anne Heche.
Oh, yeah. You know? That could work.
You could do
she's got to be fat. She's got to be huge and fat, right? She's got like tentacles.
Oh, that's right. She is fat. Well, CG. We're going to make half the movie CG anyway.
True. They could just make her computer generated fat.
Yeah. And we can't just like, we can't like lump it into fat or skinny. We can reimagine
That's
it,
true.
right? We can reimagine it.
That's true. But so you're going to say Anne Heche? I don't know. I don't even know who I would pick. What about like the Prince? Like the Prince is such a minor role in this movie. It's like he's just the guy that falls in love with somebody, right?
See, I see Jake Gyllenhaal as very Prince-esque, but I feel like there's no way he would do this.
Who's the dude from The Notebook and that other movie with Anne Hathaway as the princess? And it's the guy who played Cyclops in all the X-Men movies. I can't remember the guy's name.
You can't play two princes in your career. That's just you're gonna be typecast as Prince Man.
You know who I'm casting? I'm casting my boy Zac Efron. Zac Efron needs to be in this movie.
Listen, if this movie had been made like 4 or 5 years ago, 100% it would have been Efron.
Because we know he can sing.
Yeah,
he can sing clearly. He's done it.
Yeah,
he can flash the muscles. He's done that too.
Yeah,
he's got the chops, the acting chops too.
So we got that Chloe Moretz playing Ariel.
I feel like they'd have good on-screen chemistry.
So if it wasn't her, like, do we have to go redhead? Like, would it be like Emma Stone? Like, would it have to be Emma Stone?
Well, she's going to be in 101 Dalmatians. Apparently, they're remaking that one. She's going to be Cruella DeVille.
Yeah.
So you know what?
She looks like her.
That's what I mean. She kind of does. She's kind of up there with one of those people. Like, if she wasn't in Hollywood, would everyone think she's really that hot?
There's a certain cuteness to her.
No, she's definitely cute. I'm just saying, it's not a Maggie Gyllenhaal situation here.
No,
but
not
yeah.
At all.
So yeah, I mean, but you can dye her hair. You can give her a wig.
Let's make Scott Eastwood the prince.
Okay, Scott Eastwood's the prince.
He'll do anything.
And if The Rock is Sebastian, we'll just hope that.
Do you think his dad would be like really disappointed in him
if he
sunk down to being the prince in a Little Mermaid live action movie?
Yes, he would. His dad would be very disappointed in him.
So Sebastian, I'm going Bobby Moynihan, just because I'd love to see him in that little suit.
What about Flounder? It's like a yellow fish floating around.
So who's a yellow fish? DJ Qualls.
DJ Qualls. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
He's like too skinny.
Yeah.
All right. Let's ground it a little bit.
But his face looks like a fish. He has a fish face.
He does have a fish face. He does have a fish face. And I feel like if he did the mouth thing, you know.
So
like
he just have to lean forward all the time and like move his head around a little bit, right?
What if he was they just put his head and they put little flippers for his ears?
His body is behind it.
No, but they didn't even have the body at all. It's just his head floating around.
Well, they could just CG that shit right now.
Because if you look at Flounder, he's kind of like a floating head with some fins on it.
He is, yeah.
You know what I mean? His face is his body.
He's all face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So give DJ Qualls some fins on his hair.
Yeah.
Let's ground it a little bit. The other good movie that I think is, prime for a remake, as Disney totally figured out the formula. They're going to take all of their intellectual property and just keep remaking it over and over.
Yeah.
Let's remake Aladdin as a live action movie.
They hadn't dared remake Aladdin yet, so let's do this.
Dude, right? Aladdin, I would go to the theater to watch that. I would be all in, dude. Yeah. I would be all in.
So does it have to be an Arab actor to play Aladdin? Well, or can we take liberties?
Listen, if you look at the internet right now, I feel like you have to have a person who's of Arabic descent because you're gonna wind up with a Matt Damon in the Wall of China movie situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's getting a lot of backlash. It's the whole Ghost in the Shell thing. They didn't cast an Asian actress to be the main actor. They casted Scarlett Johansson,
and Jake Gyllenhaal was Prince of Persia.
That's
violation.
Yeah, that was the thing too. It's a violation.
Yeah,
I personally don't care, but I guess I don't think about it that much. I don't think about it into that detail. I'm not trying to take away a job from a person who deserves it.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know. I probably would like to see, who I would cast as Aladdin. It doesn't work at all. Was that guy Oded Fahir? I can't pronounce his name. The guy who was the main gigolo in Deuce Bigalow.
Yeah.
I think that guy
is 50 now. You can't do that. See, that's the problem. There aren't that many Arabic mainstream actors
in
right
Hollywood.
Now.
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
I can't think of a lot. You know what I mean?
You could get like a hot up and coming person. And I guess he doesn't have to be that well known as long as you have supporting actors in a live action role that can support him in that way.
Well, it's kind of racist, right? Because if you think back to 24 Days, they casted a lot of people as Arabic folks that were actually not Arabic at all. They were like Indian, right? So they casted Omar Hassan, which was the guy who Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm pretty sure that freaking Harold and Kumar Kal Penn was an Arab terrorist.
Oh, he sure was. Yeah,
it was crazy. Like, and they were all from like some actual Arabic country. So they've been doing this stuff in Hollywood for a long time.
I got it.
Who are you going with?
I don't know his name, but the dude that plays a Mr. Robot.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That's him.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
He's got to be Arabic.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure he is.
He looks just like my people.
I think he is.
I'll do it.
Yeah, see, you can do it.
I'll have to lose like 100 pounds, but I'll do it.
Well, yeah, I could do it too. We could do it.
Yeah, let's go.
No, but I think he's perfect.
He's young enough. He's like, he's coming off of a huge show, so he'd have notoriety.
He's a good actor. I'm pretty sure he was in 24 too, by the way.
I keep thinking he's Juicy in Sons of Anarchy, but he's not.
No, he was in 24, this
Juicy
guy, by the way. He was in 24. So what are you going with Jafar? Maybe that could be the guy from the Gigolo.
I don't know, but I do know that Abu is Aziz Ansari.
See, I was going to ask you that. Yeah, Abu is, he's got, but he doesn't have talking lines. That's the unfortunate part.
Well, he doesn't have to be a monkey. Like, we could reimagine this thing. He could just be his
like
annoying little best friend.
Or his buddy.
Yeah, he could just be his buddy.
Is that sacrilege if you reimagine it and you change these things? I know they're doing it in these movies.
Yeah. Because think of it, in a cartoon sense, like, you can't have a monkey be like the best friend of Aladdin because like you can't have the monkey have that personality on the movie.
If you have a live action monkey, like, and I'm not talking like CG scenes like Planet of the Apes, like the new ones, because if you're going to have a monkey, like, you need to have the guy who plays everybody in CG movies, Andy Serkis.
Okay.
Got to have him.
Yeah.
What I would say is you could have the guys in the flying monkey costumes. There's a band, Protest the Hero. Didn't they have a video where they dressed up like the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz?
But they're going to be like human-sized monkeys. That's just weird.
That'll be creepy as hell.
So back to Jafar. So we're going to need like a 50-ish actor.
I'd say the guy from Deuce Bigalow.
I'll go Jeremy Irons as Jafar.
Okay, he could do it.
Arabic be damned.
He could do it.
I mean, I think he has the face for it anyway. And he has the accent for it.
What about the parrot?
The parrot. Okay, so is it a real parrot? Or
I'm saying Gilbert Gottfried. Just bring him in.
Or is it Jafar's annoying sidekick?
It's going to be Gilbert Gottfried.
Let's just bring back Gilbert Gottfried.
Dress him as himself. What about Princess Jasmine?
Who's playing sexy-ass Princess Jasmine, who's like 14 years old in this movie.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
so we're going to have to like take liberties and make her 19 plus.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Princess Jasmine is the most beautiful of all of the Disney princesses.
Probably.
If I was doing a ranking by beauty, I would say Princess Jasmine is number one.
I think you're right, unless you have affinity for redheads, which you'd have to go Ariel. But,
yeah, I'm not into the fish thing, so I'm gonna say, unless we're saying Ariel as a human.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely saying Princess Jasmine is the most beautiful of all.
Nala's pretty hot though.
Yeah, I mean,
she is a lion, but
lioness.
No. So who do you got for Jasmine? I want to say Anne Hathaway, but I know you don't like Anne Hathaway.
Listen, if you want to make me not watch this movie, you can cast Anne Hathaway.
Again, like she's like 40, so can we really have her be Princess Jasmine?
No, I'm actually gonna say the girl that Dev Patel loves in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Slumdog Millionaire. I think she was a good actress, and I think she was beautiful, and she fits the part.
All right, I don't know her name, but that'll totally work. But again, like she's like, do we have no 20-ish up and coming Arabic actresses? Do we have any?
I don't think we do, man. I mean, see, I'm being ignorant right now. I just don't know any. You know what I mean? I don't know any, and I feel bad. Why don't you look it up? But in the meantime, I'm just gonna say I think this would work much better as a live action movie than The Little Mermaid. It's the only thing you need to CG is the genie, and I feel like you can't. Maybe you can't do this because Robin Williams, it's like untouchable.
So we can't have a guy dressed up like Big Blue, like the Hulk from
like Lou Ferrigno back in the day.
We can't paint a guy blue.
So maybe that's what they do, and they just have to have that guy act out, and then you just dub Robin Williams scenes.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
So I just found out that there's a rumor that Ariana Grande is partially Arabic.
What is it, like 1%?
No, like she confirms that she just found out her grandparents, like she thought she was full blood Italian.
It's like 1% here.
Yeah, so she thought she was full blood Italian, and she just found out that her grandparents have some Greek and some North African in them. So she's kind of questioning who she really is, and maybe she's going to investigate it further.
This sounds like a documentary.
Yeah, no, and she's like there may be Arabic in her, so I'm going to go because she fits the age to perfection.
Okay,
and she's one of my personal like Hollywood crushes, like pop star crushes. So why not have the most beautiful Disney princess be the lovely Ariana Grande?
All right, I'll give you that one.
We don't know if she can act or not, but that's besides the point.
I'll give you that one, but the most important question for this movie is who the hell is going to play the magic carpet? Who you casted as the magic carpet? Who's
like a Hollywood doormat? William H. Macy? Like he's always playing a doormat. He's a Hollywood. So it's going to be William H. Macy.
Oh man, I just cut and print it. That's good. We're good with that one.
Did I get it on the first take?
No, I think you got it. Yeah. I was going to ask you too. Could we make a live action Lion King? Without CGing it. You know what I mean?
So they gotta have it'll be like Cats on Broadway. You gotta have them all furry.
Get somebody in a lion suit.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like maybe you even have their face cut out.
Yeah.
Like you just
yeah. So the face is cut out and you got like the makeup and you paint the whiskers on them.
That's
and
what
you
I
have
mean.
like a mane.
Or
you have like the classic 2 people equal 1 lion thing.
So who's going to play like the butt?
So someone has to play the butt, and it's got to be like a real actor.
Well, they have to have the skills to be able to act without their head on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's really good, like, emoting?
Well, it's Jack Black for one, so he can play the butt, but like you're wasting him a little bit.
That's what I mean. There's got to be some
Jack
Hollywood.
Black is Pumbaa, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So we can't waste Jack Black on the butt of
on the butt of Simba or
on
Mufasa?
the butt of Simba or Mufasa, right?
No, you know what? I got my casting for Simba.
Who's that?
It's Zac Efron, man. You gotta. You told me The Rock can't be in everything.
Yeah,
Zac Efron can be in everything. Right. I am putting my boy Zac Efron as Simba. I feel like he fits the part.
Yeah.
He's got the young, the wide-eyed, like he's a new prince. I think he'd fit perfectly.
I actually agree with you. Like he can't wait to be king of Hollywood. Like it's gonna happen. One day he's going to be like Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Gosling, where it's like he's gonna have that prestige role.
Oh yeah,
it's not the Lion King, but one day it will be. Right?
He was in that movie Charlie St. Cloud. It was like a tearjerker. Never saw that one, but he's been in a few things here. He's up and coming.
Yeah, he can't wait to be king, and one day he will be.
Who are you putting as Mufasa?
Mufasa.
I think about it. A guy in a lion suit.
Yeah.
So he's got his face exposed. So
the former voice is James Earl Jones, so he's got a lot to live up to, right? You got to have that growl.
He's got to have the gravitas.
Yeah, you got to have the gravitas.
I would say Philip Seymour Hoffman, but R.I.P. He's not around. I feel like he could do it.
He's a mumbler.
I know. I'm just.
You can't have Philip Seymour Hoffman be
Sandy Lyle.
Yeah, you got to have Sandy Lyle.
Our friend Sandy Lyle.
Yeah. Raindrops.
Who you got?
All right, so who's Kigley? Like who recently played a king?
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth. There we go.
The king,
All right, done.
the king's
Colin
speech.
Firth.
He's a king.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who was the king in the Three Musketeers? That like guy that looked like Louis the whatever it was. He had like the long hair. He looked like a little boy.
What about Jimmy the King from Ready to
Oliver
Rumble?
Platt. Yeah, give it Oliver Platt.
Boom, Mufasa.
There we
Done.
go. What about Scar?
Who's Slimeball?
I'm saying Jeremy Irons. He was a voice, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jeremy. We could bring Jeremy Irons back, but he's already Jafar, but he could go a dual. He could go double. He
Who's
could
the
double down.
biggest scumbag in Hollywood right now?
Biggest scumbag?
Johnny
in Hollywood.
Depp's kind of scummy.
Yeah, like what about like Johnny Knoxville? Or is he too goofy?
He's too goofy. I'm saying Johnny Depp is kind of a scumbag. You know,
And it's a meaty role. He'd do it.
He's used to acting in costumes.
Yeah, he'd do it.
I
He
mean,
would totally dress up as a lion.
He could look dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, he can look scummy.
Sure.
I'm saying Johnny Depp.
How do we not fit Nick Cage into one of these roles? Like of all the Disney,
He can
movies,
be Rafiki.
He can be Rafiki. Yes,
He can be Rafiki.
that's it.
Or you can cast him as Nala, but that would be.
I mean, if he's into this sort of thing, sure.
I don't know if Zac Efron and him have the chemistry.
I think Nick Cage could be the genie. Like if anyone could take Robin Williams' place, go back to Aladdin. I think we could have Nick Cage be the genie. We'll slap some blue on him, and he'll be the genie.
What if you just spray paint him
Yeah,
blue?
we'll spray paint him.
It's like a bad body paint job.
Yeah, we could do
Oh
that.
my god. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's a good cast there.
I think we got it. Like, as ridiculous as a Lion King action movie would be.
So before we wrap up talking about Disney movies, what is your favorite Disney movie animated? And then we talk about live action too, or just overall. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh man, favorite Disney movie. It's
Maybe top
as we're
few.
just talking about it. I mean, if we're going cartoon, I'll probably go with Aladdin.
Hands down, Aladdin
Yeah.
for me. Hands down.
If we're going like Pixar, that's so tough. There's so many good ones. I love the first half of WALL-E.
I haven't ever actually seen WALL-E
And
fully.
people really quote WALL-E as their favorite Pixar movie, but the first half where he's all alone on Earth, it's like really like touching and really like kind of like nice and beautiful.
Yeah.
There's no speech. It's all just him like making noises, beeps and
him emoting.
beeps and bloops. Yeah. And once they get on the spaceship and then there's fat humans and all that, like it's a fine movie, the finish, but the first half is really great. I'll go WALL-E. Live action? Oh man, so many to choose from. I actually this past weekend I caught Cool Runnings for the first time in like 20 years.
Dude, that movie is awesome.
It lived up to the hype. Like it was as good as advertised.
It's so good.
It held up.
It really does. Olympic style too, you know what I mean? And now that the Olympics are on, I know it's the Summer Olympics and not the Winter Olympics, but I love Cool Runnings, man.
Yeah. So I mean, we always quote Heavyweights as like one of our favorite childhood movies growing up.
Love that
But
movie.
I still think Mighty Ducks would take the cake. It's probably the best live action Disney movie ever made.
I'm going Mighty Ducks 2, only because it has the dentist.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably my favorite.
It's borderline. 2 is probably better than 1, but I might go 1.
It started the whole thing. When we're talking about live action Disney movies, there's a little known movie. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. Flight of the Navigator.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's so it's never on. It might be on Netflix. I don't know.
I had a recording of that growing up. I used to watch it all the
Dude,
time.
I love that
Yeah.
movie. And I remember growing up and kind of forgetting about it and trying to remember what was that movie again? And not to mix it up with The Explorers, which I think has Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix. It's kind of the same time. I loved Cool Runnings, but I really loved Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I loved that movie growing up.
yeah.
It was awesome.
I used to hate the ant.
The
Like,
ant was kind of
bugs-
weird.
The bugs scared me.
And they were feeding it like marshmallows or
Yeah.
something, whatever it was.
The bugs scared
I'm not
me.
a bug guy.
Yeah.
But animated movie, I'm going Aladdin hands down.
Yeah. There's no real like competition there, I feel. Everybody, like you got to love Aladdin. Best songs of all the movies. Also Blank Check. Blank Check is another like if you grew up in the 90s, Blank Check was your jam.
Dude, I've said
Right.
this before. We need to do Blank Check on this show. We need to do it.
How kids spend $1 million in a week is beyond me. I guess it's doable.
No, you could definitely do it.
Totally
You
waste
bought
$1
the
million.
house. That house
Yeah.
was probably worth $1 million.
Yeah.
We need to do this movie. If anyone wants us to do that, please write in at The Last Word Pod on Twitter, thelastwordpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to know if anyone else knows that movie or if you guys like it, because I would love to talk for an hour about that movie.
Speaking of talking for an hour, maybe we should start, wrap this up a little bit. Let's get into quickly what have you been watching anything lately?
I've been watching a few TV shows. I'll tell you, I've been watching Vice Principals on HBO. I like it.
Yes, with Danny McBride.
Totally different
Yeah.
than what I expected. I expected more of a Kenny Powers type comedy. It got a little dark. If anyone's watching, You'll know what I'm talking about in episode 2. It was a little weird, but I definitely recommend watching that. It's pretty funny. Love Walton Goggins, the guy from Justified.
Yeah.
And in a couple other movies. Love him. He's in it too. I've been watching Girl Meets World a little bit.
Are they new, or are you flipping back?
It's new, so it's not a good show at all.
Not a good
I'm
show.
watching it purely from the Boy Meets World nostalgia
You want
factor.
the throwbacks. You want Feedy in there.
The fact that
Yeah.
I have a little one now, I can't be watching constant, Expendables type movies here. I got to have some family programming.
Sure, right.
They had a Feeny callback recently. It's
Good.
not very good.
That's all right. But if you love Boy Meets World so much, like I guess you can kind of like grin and bear it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I've been watching. I haven't really watched any movies lately myself, so.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
I saw Money Monster over the weekend with Fred.
Which one is that?
It's with George Clooney, where he hosts like a Jim Cramer, stock show, and he gets held up by this guy who's mad because he gave him bad advice, lost all his money.
I remember seeing that one.
Yeah,
The trailer for it.
Yeah, and Julia Roberts is the producer of the show, and she's like in George Clooney's ear, trying to like talk him how to like survive. It was a good movie. It's got Kurt Cuddy in it from Rockstar.
So you want the gig then?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. You think of Dominic West. It's Dominic West. So
The dude from The Wire.
the guy from The Wire, which is a huge role, but to us, he's Kurt Cuddy.
If you've seen Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg, if you haven't, you should clear your schedule right now and go watch it because it's awesome.
So in my mind, the entire movie, like every time they show his face, like I just think of all like his quotes from Rockstar. So
yeah, so you want the gig then?
yeah. And I also Hard Knocks started up.
Dude, I haven't been
Great
watching
show.
that.
Love it.
We're huge football fans on this show. So
Yeah.
sometimes we talk about sports. I haven't watched it, but it's the Rams right now, right?
Yeah, Hard Knocks with the Rams. They go through training
I
camp.
heard Jeff Fisher cut a guy because he brought a woman to the door.
Brought a woman to the dorm. It was supposedly innocent, but it was against the
Hey,
rules.
listen, they're all innocent, okay?
And there's always you see these stupid things. Like there was a joke where like the number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff, he didn't know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and they were like making fun of him for it. It's stuff like that you find out all the time.
I'm not going to say that I wouldn't. I don't find that hard to believe. I look at him, he doesn't look like the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah.
No offense to him.
But then he was like trying to ask other teammates to like see if they were as dumb as him. And the one guy goes like, "What do you mean? Like, where's the sun rise? It rises in the air." It's like this is the kind of enjoyment you get out of a show like this.
Oh my God. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to have to catch it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the other seasons of it. So
And speaking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Ballers, it's a great show.
I keep meaning to catch up on this. It's good. It's worth watching.
Yeah, it's a stupid show, but it's a good
Sports
show.
Entourage?
Yeah, it's like Sports Entourage.
See that anything you say Entourage, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
So that's about it. What are you looking forward to
I'm going to give you 2.
as far as releases go?
Like when I say looking forward to, I'm talking I want to go to the theater
Theaters.
and watch it. I'm going to pay money to watch this.
Yeah.
The first one is I want to watch the movie with Fat Jonah Hill, newly fat Jonah
He's
Hill.
like penguin fat right now.
You know what? Let's recast Batman Returns. Jonah Hill is the
Jonah Hill,
penguin.
boom, done.
No, but I want to see that movie. It's called War Dogs. It's got him and the guy from Whiplash.
Yeah,
Can't remember the guy's name.
whatever. Doesn't
You know
matter.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Dude who's in Fantastic Four.
Sure.
But yeah, it looks really good. It looks like a good blend of comedy and like action. I don't know. It's just interesting. They
So
become like arms dealers.
We'll
or
have to
something.
like judge what's better, that or Lord of War with Nick Cage.
Lord of War is actually a very good
Yeah.
movie. People crap on it. And then the second one I want to watch is when we were watching Suicide Squad last week. We saw the preview for it, Hell or High Water.
Oh yeah, bank robbing movie.
It looks like a Texas bank robbing movie
Yep.
with Chris Pine, Ben Foster's in it.
Yep.
And I think there's the dude who plays Murderball in Friday Night Lights.
Sure, yeah.
Can't remember the guy's name.
I don't know his
Herc.
name, but
Herc
yeah.
in Friday Night
Yeah.
Lights.
Right.
Looks awesome. They look like scumbag bank robbers.
Yeah.
I'm totally
It
in.
looks really good.
It's like an indie movie, but it's getting rave reviews.
It almost looks like Oscar worthy in a way.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like it's going to be nominated for something. I don't know whether
cinematography.
something. It looks really good. Like, as far as the look of it.
I'm definitely down.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you want to see?
Sausage Party is right up my alley.
Yeah, I would definitely want to
Yeah,
see that.
I don't know if I'll catch it in the theater or not, but it's like a definite must watch for me.
I'm sure it's so funny.
There's a horror movie that's like all or nothing for me in the theater because I feel like if I don't catch this in the theater, I'll never watch it. And it's Don't Breathe. It's a horror movie
What is it about?
where I guess these young people, they break into this blind guy's house because I think he has like money or diamonds in there. They think it's going to be an easy job in and out, but it turns out the guy's like a super badass and he like locks them in and he's blind and like. Oh, he's like trying to listen for them, and it's like supposed to be a really like quiet, tense, jumpy type of thriller, and it's like something I would totally go to. I'd go like alone to watch it like on a Tuesday at 4:00.
Would you? Is that the kind of movie you'd want to see in Butt Punishing 40X? Because like when the jumps happen, like you're
Yeah.
gonna fly out of the seat, or is it a waste of money because there's probably nothing to really get you?
It's probably a lot of waiting, which is like a good thing.
It's like you're on the Dominator at
Yeah.
Dorney Park, you're waiting for the drop,
Perfect example. And you're just up there for probably a half hour.
and then out of nowhere
Yeah.
they get you and you like
Yeah.
get whiplash.
So
or
like,
seat.
so like this guy's like a badass and he's picking these people off one by one. It's something I'm totally down for.
See, I don't think I'd be down for that. I'm not
Yeah.
into the. It's been a long time since I've been into the horror genre, and I don't
Yeah.
know if I can go back very easily.
Yeah,
so,
well, I don't know if it's so much horror as it is like heart-stopping thriller.
Yeah,
You know,
I forgot one. There's
Yeah.
one other movie I want to watch. It's coming out soon in September. Kickboxer Vengeance.
ooh,
Dude,
yeah,
this movie looks
Man.
awesome.
that trailer. We should link to it. The trailer is so much better than you would ever think it would be. When you think about why are they remaking Kickboxer?
I thought it was going to be like a direct to video type thing because it doesn't look like it has a high budget. But honestly, the action looks awesome. Dave Bautista's in it.
They got a bunch of MMA guys.
Yeah, Batista looks like a badass
Yeah,
in it
yeah,
too.
he does. Yeah, he
There's that scene where they do like they put their hands in the glue and then they put the glass chips on their fists.
Yeah, it looks
Man,
great. It looks,
dude,
yeah.
I'm down. And Van Damme's in it too. He's like the mentor of
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
I sign me up, man. Sign
And
me
it
up.
looks like they did it in all the right ways.
Sign me up, dude.
Yeah, I'm totally in 100%. So that about wraps things up. Before we go, I'll get to another iTunes review. This one is by Zigwan. Too much time on their hands, he says. When the FM tuner of my car died, I was lost. The conservative talk radio on AM got old fast.
Especially in the election cycle this year.
Drew and Badway have been a breath of fresh air and great company during my commute. Clearly, these guys watch too many movies. Keep up the good work. That's almost like a backhanded compliment.
I feel like I'm not watching enough movies these days.
Which I love.
I feel like I'm not watching enough movies these days. I need to catch up, man.
I
Like,
think that's a well written review. Like I feel like there's a good story to it.
yeah, I would like to hear more about what Xinguan was listening to on the
Yeah.
FM radio.
Yes.
But I'm glad that we can fill your void, man. Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
so much.
Thank you so much. So we're
Yeah.
getting there. Like I said, we got our 50th coming up in about 6 episodes. Get us to 50 5-star reviews, written reviews. And we can do the splits for 50, baby. Let's do
that's
it.
50 for 50. Like I said at the beginning of the show, iTunes is showing 39. We have another one in the UK store. Thanks, Lee, for leaving that one.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
not
it
going to
counts.
show up.
It totally counts.
It definitely counts. We're
Yeah.
not going to discount Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah, 50 for 50. We'll do it. You guys, 10 more reviews and then we're there.
And if you're like the 50th review and you're the one that gets the shout out on our episode, like think of how special that is.
We're going to have to do something
so
special.
special.
For the 50th review, man, we're going to have to do something special for that too.
We'll send you an autographed photo of ourselves, which is worth a little bit more,
$5,000.
a little bit more than nothing. No, it's a little bit less than nothing because it was a nice piece of paper and we scribbled on it with our autographs and it
We
devalued
it.
Yeah, so if you're the 50th, we'll send you a devalued picture of us.
Well, thank you, Xinguan, and everyone else that left an iTunes review. If you haven't had the chance to do so, just like Badway said, we're doing a 50 for 50, splits on the 50. We got a few more to go. Head out to iTunes, search for The Last Row Podcast. Leave us that 5-star review. We'll read it on the air to say thank you. If you want to write us an email, thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at The Last Row Pod, and our Facebook page got a little love this past week. As we said, facebook.com/The Last Row Pod. Send us your love, write a comment on there, and we will see you guys next week.
So I can't get the image out of my head of William H. Macy as the rug, as the magic
His
carpet.
face is going to be a hole, and he's going to be laying down.
So he's got like his hands and his hands are like up above it. I don't know. Like,
his hands are the little like tassels on the edge.
And then Mr. Robot jumps on top of him. I don't know his name. I'll call him Mr. Robot. He's like standing on top of William H.
Mr.
Macy.
Robot.
And I like to think like his like stomach